Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Palomacy. There are two ways in which you can help me, help them, help the pigeons. One is watch this stream and bring your friends. Today is the last day. I make a donation at the end of each month based on my unique viewers count here on Twitch. You can also donate to our fundraiser here. We have raised the bar from last year. We raised $10 last year, so the goal is $20 this year. So please donate if you can. Today is Thursday, which means it's time for illustration. But I took a little while getting ready, so I still need to get my stuff out. So you can see my keyboard there in the way. I also need my Element Encyclopedia of Magical Creatures because we're going to be starting a new magical creature illustration today for the Maginaturalist Sketchbook project. So here's that book, right? Oh, it's trying to fly away. Okay, you stay there. I just realized I need to turn off my overhead light. I don't like that circle, and I feel like it makes my head cast a shadow here. Okay, so I've got this book. Actually, let me adjust my camera so it's straight. There we go. Oh, no, as soon as I let go, it becomes not straight. There we go. We also need... I'm starting to get piles collecting here again in my workspace, even though I cleaned it up some. But I'm taking next week off, so that'll be a great opportunity to clean up my studio some more. So here's my sketchbook. And I think the only other thing I need is my sketch kit, sketch toolkit. Boom. Actually going to take a minute. I did a huge walk today, 3-hour walk, trying to get these black wings in Pikmin Bloom. And I just realized, or suddenly felt that my lips are very chapped. So I put some little lip balm on here. I also wish that I had given myself time, because it's completely my fault that I'm running up against the clock today. Not late though, I got started on time, so I'm quite proud of myself. Anyway, my sweater is covered in dog hairs because when I got home from my 3-hour walk, my big dog Aoife wanted to cuddle with me so bad. So she laid on me for like half an hour while I was cooling down from that big epic walk. Okay, let me make sure my phone, yes, my phone volume was not down. I like to have my computer volume off, my phone volume off, so that there's no unexpected surprising noises while I'm streaming. Okay, we're ready! So, yeah, the dog hairs are coming off everywhere. So first, we're going to look at what letter are we going to, well, I know what letter, but what is the creature name? What I've been doing for this project is going through this encyclopedia A to Z. We just finished D. Right now I'm taking the first entry in each letter and illustrating that. So after D is what? E? A, B, C, D, E. So we're going to E. And we're going to do the first entry in there, so I have no idea what it's going to be. Oh, here we go. Interesting. Huh, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's E-A. So it could be Aya, or it could literally be E. Bring this closer so that you can see. It's this one. E. So let me read that out. I've never heard of this before. I wonder if I should look up the pronunciation. Let's just read it. I might mispronounce it, probably will, so just forgive me for that. So the E, or Ea or Ia, I kind of like Ea. I'm going to call it Ea for now. Okay. One of the trio of creator gods in Babylonian and nobody really knows what the pronunciation is then, because it's Babylonian. We only know that language through writing, I believe. Okay. One of the trio of creator gods in Babylonian and Mesopotamian mythology. So this is an ancient god. Together with Anu and Enlil, Ea, or Enki, is the creator of mankind. However, his first concern was for the sea, over which he ruled. Oh, that's very similar to what I've been reading in the Silmarillion. I've been listening to the audiobook narrated by Andy Serkis. So that's so similar to... Oh, what is his name? Not Manwë. I don't have to look it up. Anyway, concern was for the sea over which he ruled. Originally, he was portrayed as a human being with a long flowing beard in which swam fish. Interesting. Later, he developed into a hybrid creature, one half human, the other half fish. Oh, so it's kind of like Capricorn or a mermaid. Okay, in some texts, he is also known by the title Stag of the Abzu, which, since Abzu is the name of the primeval ocean, suggests that at some point Ea may have been seen as a gigantic fish. Wow, there's a lot of interesting stuff to glean from this. So, how I like to start, aside from doing the research, is take notes. So let's start taking some notes down. I've been, for the most part, restricting myself. I forgot I got so much ink on the bottom of this page by accident. I've been mostly restricting myself to the encyclopedia so that I'm not wasting too much time, because you can just seriously go down the rabbit hole and never come back. So I'm keeping it really... All the research for the illustration itself is just coming from these paragraphs here. I can't really have the book and the sketchbook on, so sorry about that. I didn't have time to move the cams away from puppy cam settings, so I only have this space to show you stuff today. And I came down in such a rush trying to get my stream going in time that Chappie didn't realize what I was doing. So Chappie's bed is empty right now because she didn't realize I was coming down. Aoife came down, so you can see in the top right camera, that's Aoife's back. So she came down pretty quick. She's like, oh, wait, we're going down to the workroom? And then she curled up. Okay, so I'll use this pen. Trying to decide what kind of pen I want to use to take my notes. Just use this tricolor ball pen, I think. But what's cool about it is it hardly makes any noise even if you move it around. And even the clickies make hardly any noise. The only noise is when one pops back up, because, so watch this. This one's gonna, you can't see it now, but it's gonna pop up in a second. Yeah, that's the only noise it makes, so it's pretty cool. I want to use black for this, though. I always date my sketchbook entries. So I always say it's so fun to come back in the past, or like sometimes come back in the past. In the future, to come back and look at this and see what dates you made things. And sometimes you're actually looking it up to see, how long have I been working on this project or something like that. But also it's just plain fun to revisit your old sketchbooks and be amazed at the traveling through time that you're now doing. Like, wow, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, or that was when some other thing happened and I didn't really remember that they both happened at the same time, or, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, that's why I always date, and it's 31 Halloween. Oh, I wrote 31 Halloween instead of 31 October. That's how scattered my brain is right now. Because when I started writing 31... Oh, Chappie's crying to come in. Hold on. Chappie! Come on, sweetie! Yeah, come on. You're allowed. Okay, watch that bottom right camera. Here she comes. Oh, she's checking out Aoife first. Yeah, it's time to go sit in your bed. Okay, go to work. Gotta go work. Here, I'll move this. Yes, good girl. You're such a good girl. Okay, she's already talking. She was crying all sad out there. Oh, let me adjust this a bit because she better visible. A little bit better. Let's turn it on. There. Nice big yawn out of Chappie. Okay. Anyway, I don't remember exactly what I had been saying before I realized that I heard Chappie crying. But when I was writing 31 here, I remembered, or I had a thought in my head, I want to tell everyone Happy Halloween. So Happy Halloween, everyone! It's Halloween for reals. But then I ended up just writing Halloween instead of October right here. I'm going to put it for real series. October. Lol. It's actually not that weird for me to put 31 Halloween because I always say that Halloween starts on October 1st. Thanksgiving starts on November 1st and Christmas starts on December 1st. For me, I love holidays. I love the end of year holidays the best, and especially Christmas is number one fave for me. But that is so funny. I put 31 Halloween and then I just read it out like it was normal. Okay, got the date on here. I'm going to put the project title. Maginaturalist. I created this insane word sketchbook. It's naturalist plus magi in the style of Harry Potter. So it's Maginaturalist, so it's like a magical creature naturalist. Sketchbook, and we're doing Ea or Ea. Okay, that is something that I will look up. I'm going to put that in parentheses. Let's see what in general people pronounce this as. I'm pretty sure Babylonian and Mesopotamian are so ancient that nobody knows how it's actually pronounced. But there might be some educated guesses out there. I love how people trace back languages and everything. It's just so interesting. I love etymology, for instance. So let's see how to pronounce. And I'm going to put in quotes Ea. And we're going to put Babylonian god. Babylonian god. Or is it god, or is it just, yeah, create a trio of creator gods. Okay. Well, here's someone saying how to pronounce it. Who knows how accurate they are, but, you know, what their credentials are, but.
Today we will be focusing on a new word that you might find challenging or intriguing. So let's dive into today's word. Ea, which means in ancient Mesopotamian.
Ea. Alright, we'll keep that. We'll just pronounce it Japanese style. The romanization of Japanese means that the letter E is always E, and the letter A is always A. And that makes it easier. Plus, I found that the romanization, which means writing in the alphabet, basically, because the alphabet is Roman in origin, following Japanese pronunciation is more often than not the correct way to do it. There are some languages where it's like, what? It's the romanization of Chinese, for instance. You just got to throw any Japanese knowledge out the window because it's completely different. But in this case, based on that single video that I looked up, and I have no idea what their credentials are, who they are to be saying this is how it's pronounced, but they basically said, let's do it Japanese style. So we'll do that. Ea. We're going to call this god Ea. So now time to take notes. So one of 3 creator gods, and Babylonian. This kind of thing is useful because we can look up Babylon, Mesopotamia, and get information for the appearance of the environment. So all of this information is useful, even though it was such a tiny little paragraph. So Babylonian, Mesopotamian. I don't think we need to know the names. It's got the names of the other 2 gods, but we don't need that necessarily. Creator of mankind. And ruler of the sea. This kind of reminds me of, so it says creator of mankind, but his first concern was the sea. That reminds me of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where it says something like, because of such and such thing, people were saying that it was a bad idea to come down from the trees. And some people were saying it was even a bad idea to leave the oceans, talking as if we made the choice to evolve to come out of the oceans or whatever. Like we collectively said, yeah, let's try living in trees. Let's leave the it's just reminding me of that. Okay. Originally portrayed, so here are some options for his appearance. So human, and it says he, so I'll put human, male, with flowing beard, in which fish swim. And that's a really cool image. So this is, it's interesting. So we have a older version of him, which is the human male with a flowing beard in which fish swim. But then later, he becomes a half human, half fish, and so it's almost like he merges with these fish. But then there's just like alternate universe version, and he is, it suggests that at some point Ea may have been seen as a gigantic fish, so it's almost like he goes from man to fish in his appearance. Or at least he goes from man to fish in this description here. So 1, 2, and then this is later. Half human, half fish. And we could put this all together too. We could put a half human, half fish with a long flowing beard with fish swimming in it. Why not? We could incorporate all of these elements. And then the final one is gigantic fish. So we could just make him huge. So he could be a half human, half fish, huge with a flowing beard with fish swimming in it. I'll put alternate. This doesn't describe whether this third version of him is before or after, or maybe it's just all, it's mixed in. So I'm just putting alternate. And gigantic fish. Probably he's just morphing. He's a god. He can do whatever he wants. He's probably morphing between these different things. And some people saw him with the beard with the fish swimming in it. Other people saw him as half human, half fish. And then yet another people saw him as gigantic fish. It's all the same guy. Okay, what else? What other notes from here? So we'll put in quotes stag of the Abzu. And that says that Abzu Abzu equals primeval ocean. So we could look up some ancient fish. Of course, we don't really know what the really, not just ancient, prehistoric, millions of years ago fish. But there's not really much fossil records of them. I believe mostly the heads are all that fossilized because the bodies are made out of cartilage to be nice and pliant and flexible. So when we have fossils of ancient sharks and stuff, they're usually just the head. But we'll see what we can find. I think this is a great idea. Primeval ocean. Okay. I'm interested in, it says he's also known by the title Stag of the Abzu. And then it says which, since Abzu is the name of the primeval ocean, suggests that at some point Ea may have been seen as a gigantic fish. So I'm wondering if there's some different meaning of stag that I'm not aware of, because to me stag is just a male deer. It's interesting. I turned the volume down on my phone and just now I clicked the button again just in case and it wasn't turned down. It's like it turned back up on its own. That's creepy. I guess it's Halloween. So we've got a little ghost in here with us today, apparently. Because there's a video evidence. I turned it down. Well, I guess I didn't turn it down on camera. I only said I was doing it, but I totally did it. Okay. I'm going to look up the word stag. Oh, never mind. I know what happened. I listened to that video. It's not a ghost. It's my poor memory. Stag meaning. So the word stag to me just means a male deer. So let's see what other meanings there are. I like Merriam-Webster. I always use Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster.com. Stag, adult male red deer, also the male of various other deer. It could mean a young horse in Scotland. Oh, this is an unfortunate definition. I won't describe it. It's pretty sad, so I won't put that one. But it has to do with male animals. Young male domestic chicken or turkey. Social gathering of men only, and one who attends a dance or party without a companion. Stag as a verb in British English means to spy on. I've never heard that one. Interesting. And it also means to attend a dance or party without a companion. And here's the third definition. Stag, restricted to men or intended for a male audience or unaccompanied by someone of the opposite sex, which could also mean the example they have is stag women. It's interesting. I don't really see how stag equals large fish, but we'll just accept what the encyclopedia says and go with it. Alright, pop this back onto the charger. Alright, so more ideas. I'm going to point to this. I'm going to put dino sharks with a question mark just to remind myself that that's an idea. I'm just saying dino to mean like ancient, prehistoric, etc. I know that dinosaur is a specific type of animal. It does not necessarily mean every fossilized animal is a dinosaur, but it gets the point across to me. So I've got all the notes pulled out of the encyclopedia that I think are useful for this single paragraph entry here. So we'll be done with this. I'm just going to set it over here. my sketchbook in here better. Let me bring this down because it doesn't like to focus if it's too high up. There. Alright, so the idea that was coming to mind is combine all three visual descriptions that were in the entry. So we could just have him in the sea. We're having a lot of stuff having to do with the sea, which makes sense because the ocean covers more of the earth than anything else, unless you want to count the atmosphere. So, because we had the Irish Sea, then we had the coast of West Africa. What was the first thing we did? Oh, that was India, so that wasn't the sea. And then we did Baba Yaga, and that wasn't the sea either. The last two we did was the sea, and this one's going to be the sea too. So I guess I don't have to rewrite this because I'm just combining this. We just want to get a really big fish. So let's look up prehistoric fish. I would put giant fish. Giant fish. This ancient fish was bigger than a whale shark. I think this might be the 10 largest prehistoric fishes. That's a YouTube video though. Here's science.org. Let's see what science.org has to say about giant prehistoric fish. So this one says, the title is, "This ancient fish was bigger than a whale shark and faster than scientists ever imagined." And I'm probably not going to pronounce this correctly, but here's, what an amazing name it has. The name that they have given this ancient fish, Leadsichthys problematicus. Why is it called problematicus? Because it was a mystery? Okay, Leadsichthys problematicus could overturn the bony fish paradox. Guess I'm just going to read this article to you, because I'm reading it to myself too. Scientists have long struggled to explain why bony fishes are so small. The heaviest, the ocean sunfish, is just 2.3 metric tons. Is just 2.3 metric tons? Why it's so small? Oh, okay, because when they compare to cartilaginous fishes. Like, that's big enough. 2.3 metric tons is big enough. But what they're saying is, compared to cartilaginous fishes like whale sharks, says they can weigh up to 34 metric tons. That is huge. That's huge. Okay. I'm just trying to find out what fish I should draw this god as. Okay. We'll continue reading though. Now a new study of an ancient giant suggests this modern difference is merely an evolutionary accident. Interesting. Bony fish, which make up some 95% of all fish species, might be constrained by their metabolism, according to one argument. Larger animals generally have to make do with less oxygen per gram of tissue. Because bony fish seem to have higher metabolic requirements than sharks, it might simply be impossible for them to grow much larger than the ocean sunfish. Enter Leadsichthys problematicus. So that's probably why it's problematic, because... Oh, I just realized that my camera has died again. Camera, why? Why? This is... So you can see me moving in the side cameras. You can see my shadow. I'm moving. And this camera, my main camera, has died again. I don't understand why it does this. And it's the brand new top of the line, supposedly, camera. A little frustrating that it does this. I'm just going to try unplugging and plugging it back in. Hopefully I don't have to end my stream and start it again. That's super annoying. Let's see, where does it plug in? Okay, we're going to try unplugging it. give it a second and plug it back in. It's sad that this camera is so unreliable. Has it come back? No. It doesn't even look like it stopped, even when I unplugged it. Which takes its power supply away too, so it's literally just that it's frozen. Okay, properties. It didn't stop. What do you mean it didn't stop? Turn the stream cam back on. Are you back? Is it back? I switched from one cam to another. And it seems to have worked. Yay! Oh, now Chappie's... How's that? Oh, she's cut off. There, keeping it Chappie centered. Once again, Aoife's laying in such a way that you can only see her body and paws. Ah, now we're back. Ah, thank goodness. Man, I just want to read about sharks. Come on, camera. Alright. Well, I'm glad that I have perhaps found a workaround for next time that happens, because all I did was go into OBS. I changed this feed to be one of these smaller cameras for a second, and then I switched it back to this camera, and it came back. So next time this happens, I can test that and see if that's actually the solution. Okay, what I was gonna say when I got distracted by the camera is that that's probably why they call this fish Leidsichthys problematicus, because it's way too big according to what they thought was the limit for bony fish. So let's find out. The extinct fish, thought to be largest on record, lived about 165 million years ago in Europe and South America. It grew to at least 16.5 meters in length and might have weighed 45 metric tons. That's 11 more metric tons than a whale shark. That's a third. That's a third again, the size of a whale shark. That's probably big enough for our god here. Okay, which means it was larger even than today's whale shark. Realizing modern biologists had left ancient fish out of their equation, scientists decided to calculate L. problematicus's metabolic requirements. They used data from living bony fish as a guide, and they found that it would have not only survived, but thrived. In theory, the giant fish could have cruised along at speeds of 17.8 kilometers per hour. That's fast enough. While still keeping its tissues adequately oxygenated, they report this month in Paleontology. Well, what's this month? This article is from May 2018. For comparison, the speediest living fish probably swim no faster than 30 kilometers per hour. So that's pretty fast for such a massive fish. Okay, it's still a mystery why there are no gigantic bony fish today, but metabolically speaking, there's no reason why they shouldn't exist, the researchers conclude. I guess we could use it. There was no picture. There's no picture in that article. But I guess there's not really... here's Prehistoric Life Wiki, top 10 prehistoric fish. Oh, number 1. Oh, this is... actually, this is number 10. The Leidsichthys is number 10. Okay, this is from the Prehistoric Life Wiki. Let's look at their little blurbs. So, this says that Leidsichthys... I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's Leeds, and the I think it's Leeds because I bet it was found in Leeds. That's like a city. Ichthys just means fish, so it's Leidsichthys. Okay, Leidsichthys is probably the largest fish ever. Oh, well, I guess we should use that. Certainly the largest known bony fish. It is estimated that the largest leads ichthys could have grown up to 16 meters. However, not all of them were this massive, and individuals above 14 meters in length were probably not common. Leeds ichthys is thought to have been a filter feeder like the largest extant fish and use a gill basket to extract food from the ocean. Well, let's just use this. So they do have a little drawing here. Someone has decided that what it looks like. So let's actually just search this. Leeds ichthys. And see what other people have visualized it as. Oh, we'll just go to Wikipedia. Oh, there's fossil tail fin. That's cool. Fossil tail fin. Oh, here's the guy who first described it. Restoration based on, let me look at the details of this image. Restoration based on oh, where'd it go? The description disappeared that I was reading. Oh well. This one says it's new updated version of Leeds ichthys problematicus, giant middle Jurassic pachycormid. Well, this is someone's interpretation of what it could have looked like. That's pretty good. I'll just use this. I think. So we could go through here and see if there's any others. But you never know what it looked like because it only preserved bones are. There's an awesome. Some artist has done, and probably more than one artist, has done this thing where if you take skeletons of. Okay, I was afraid my camera had frozen again. If you take skeletons of modern animals, including humans, and then draw them the same way we draw ancient creatures based only on the skeleton, then the animals, everybody looks ridiculous. Like, nobody looks like what they actually look like because you can't base appearance only on the skeleton. But you can use existing animals to inform, and that's a little bit better. So since this is a fish, I feel like it's a little bit easier to do. I feel like this might have had bigger. Well, some of the people drawing it are giving it more or less fins, so I feel like I don't know how many fins fish usually. Let's look at the sunfish. Let's look at a fish that actually exists now. Oh, so cute! They're so cute! Look at this! That's so cute! So I'm mostly looking for what are the fins like? Wow. So it seems like a sunfish just has two big fins and one on the top and one on the bottom. Then a tail fin. And just a couple on the side, so how about let's look at the whale shark. So we'll look at another big. So whale shark seems to have two sticking out the side. This is more what I expected. They have two, sort of what you'd call arms, the equivalent of arms, but then there's a couple more sticking out farther down the body. I'm going to try to find a good picture to share. Oh, here's a good one. Thanks, National Geographic. Here's an excellent. This is more what I was expecting. the image I was looking at before didn't seem like it had as many fins as it should. And this is more what I'm thinking is, so there's one on each side of this, one on each side of this one right in the middle of the body. A big dorsal fin, another dorsal fin, or if you would call it that, farther down, in between the tail. So there's basically 3 points along the back and tail, and 4 points along the bottom, because there's these sort of arm and leg fins, and then these little control-y ones at the end of the tail. Ow! My horrible explanation. But this is more what I'm thinking. So I actually want to use the whale shark instead of the ancient one, because the ancient one is a little too much speculation in the appearance. It's not enough to go on for an illustration, I think. Plus, why wouldn't Ea evolve with his ocean children? So we'll do a whale shark. And I'm just imagining him coming out of the sea, because otherwise we can't have... It would be very hard to show a flowing beard in which fish swim if he's in the water. Because to me, a flowing beard in which fish swim is a water beard. So if he's in the water with his water beard and there's water everywhere, then it's really hard to show the difference. So I'm sort of seeing it like this, like he's coming out of the water. And maybe we could just have a head. And the beard is coming down, flowing into the water. And we would have fish like, wee, wee. little happy fishies in there. Maybe one swimming up this way. One swimming down. Beep. If he has a long flowing beard, I imagine he has long flowing hair the rest of the way too. He has a smile on because he's just enjoying this time with his little fishies. Wavy hair like the waves on the sea, I imagine. Something like that. And maybe we could show under the water. To show the whale shark body or something. I guess we wouldn't have these frontmost fins because those will be his human arms. Or something like that. That's just one idea though. We could have some other ideas. We could even try. Maybe we can draw him all the way under the water. Showing his giant beard like spreading out all over the ocean. Like kelp. Ah, that's a great idea! His beard could be kelp. Or some other seagrass. Seagrass, seaweed. So that's why the fish are swimming in it. Oh, and then that would be a way to have him underneath the water, because then if it's not a water beard, it's a kelp beard. Fish swim around in the kelp. Okay, I'm going to stop sketching with this pen because I keep smudging. Let's get a pen that dries faster. Yeah, we'll try this Winsor. No, oh, I almost threw it on the ground. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why. My hands are just like whoop, and the pen or the paintbrush goes flying. Getting really close to the end of this sketchbook. Let's try some different ideas. We're just going to do little thumbnail sketches, I think. In fact, for thumbnail sketches, it might be better to use a brush pen so that I can work in shapes more than lines. Oh, this is a tiny little... I'm trying to find a bigger brush pen. Is this one? Oh, this one's pretty good. So let's try this. So we could do having him swim along as could be a format, horizontal format, and we could have him swimming along. We're going to have his kelp beard flowing back and have little fishies swimming along with him underneath him or something like that. We could have a kelp hair flying along too. We could also have him portrait, and it could be like a kelp forest, but he is the kelp forest. So if he's sort of here and he's got his awesome kelp beard. See, this is why you gotta do thumbnails. I never would have thought of kelp beard without sketching it. And then we'll show his fish body coming out the side. And your little fishy friends. Some could be swimming in and out too. That's kind of nice. There could even be some like, oh, it's hard with the pen, but there could be like bubbles floating up or something to fill the space. So that's an idea. I'm changing my position in my chair. Okay, more ideas. Oh yeah, the above water idea. What if we did one that was horizontal? Water, so we've got the ocean. And then he's here. Beard in the ocean. Yeah, I guess the thing with the have him above the ocean is it's kind of hard to draw so that you're actually seeing the shark part. So his giant beard covers the scene. So even if you can see under the water, technically, the beard is covering it up. That could be fine. That's a route we could go. We don't have to show the half man, half fish. We could just show the man with a fish habitat beard. We could, though, do one of those underwater photos where it's half and half. It's like straight on and you can see under because the kelp beard will be floating on the top here. So I drew this a little too high, but his head would be up above the water. But then you could focus more on the fish, the giant fish part. This way. Maybe have it be a little more flexible than it is naturally, just to show that the tail is there. That's an option. His arms could be hanging down here like this. He's just sort of sitting around, though. In all of these, it's sort of sitting around. Here, at least, I guess he's swimming. But here is just sort of standing around. Here is sitting around. Well, he's floating around. Yes, just floating. We could have him doing something a little more interesting. It could be interacting. We could go way close up. So let's do another horizontal one. We could close up way more on his face. And maybe we'll have like one of his fish children. And he's like happily looking at them. And then he does have his kelp beard and kelp hair floating around. And a little happy face on him. Yep, yep. Hello, my fish child. And we could have little bubbles coming up from the fish or something. We could have him, so it called him the creator of mankind, but it also said that his first interest was the sea, so I imagine that he's the creator of the creatures in the sea. So we could also focus more, I feel like this would be nice as a portrait format. We could focus more on him creating. We could have hands. Let's see, the thumb would face outward like this. And then like a fish. We could have it glowing. So this would have a lot of drama to it because we could have some really dark ink to show that this fish is glowing and coming to life. Or at least there's something special about this fish, even if not necessarily being brought to life is the first message that comes across, but something about the fish being special. Could put the other hand here, top too. I like the drama of this, but it really focuses on the fish and not on the magical creature. Also, we need to keep in mind this is something that the Maginaturalist will be seeing on her journeys. So, would she be underwater? I mean, maybe she would. People explore underwater. But how likely is it that she would see a scene like this, a very specific, small, she'd have to be really close. Yeah, it should be a scene that someone, a traveler, would just happen to see. So, like, she could totally be on a boat or something like that. That's fine. With being in the middle of the ocean, that's okay. And she could even be scuba diving. So, say she's scuba diving, or even just snorkeling. Let's do one where she sees him from above. That's an interesting viewpoint we haven't tried. So, seeing the figure from above. I didn't give myself enough room, but here's the... Say he's swimming. Oh, I love this idea, actually. So, say he's swimming along, tending to his sea children, and you can see his beard. So let's say the beard is longer than the rest of the hair, just so that we'd be able to see the body. So his big kelp beard is flowing along. I really love the kelp beard idea. I'm sticking with that for now. And then we've got like all his little fish children who want to hang out with him, following him along. This is a really nice shape overall, too. So this would be the silhouette we'd be looking at. We've got this nice motion as well, moving in one direction and also converging, so it's a kind of triangle shape. We might actually reverse this because it would probably be darker underneath, so all of these dark areas would look lighter. Let me look up whale shark viewed from above. See if I can find such an image. Oh, cool. Yay. Although, actually, depending on how far the ocean goes down, the shark is still... Oh, here's one where the shark is lighter. This is what I'm looking at, this list of images in the Google image search. Here's kind of what I was thinking. Well, you can't even really see the difference. But I was imagining that it would be the deep, deep ocean. And so that it would be darker below. But these images where it's actually, you can see the bottom of the sea, the whale shark ends up being the darker silhouette. So that'll be the difference. Do I want to have a really deep ocean, which I think I do, or do I want to have a shallower ocean? And he is the creator of mankind, so maybe it would be better to have it closer to shore so that it's showing him closer to mankind. Nobody's going to read that into this if they haven't watched this, but it helps me make a decision because it's very different looking. Either the whale shark is the lightest thing or the whale shark is the darkest thing. I've got to choose. But having the sea be the darker thing allows me to add more details in ink to the figure. So that might be a better reason to choose. Because anything that has to be really dark, it's just going to be all inked in, or lots and lots of hatching, and we won't be able to see as much nice detail. Yeah, so let's do having the sea be the darkest part of the image. The whale shark is lit up by the sun, shining through. Shining through the water. Now I'm just looking for an image that shows the fins pretty well. Oh, this one. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Can I save this? Download image, and now I just want to flip. Oh, it's break time. No, I don't want to share. Did it not download the image? Oh, I must have accidentally clicked share instead of download. Okay. Alright, downloaded the image. I guess I could use it like this, but I kind of want it to be the way I was imagining. For some reason, I'm imagining it drawn swimming to the lower left. Though, that said, this is part of a series. Let's take a look at the previous images and see which direction they're going. Maybe I have an inherent bias of drawing things going toward the left, which I feel like it's actually likely. So I'm just going to go through my sketchbook. So abao aku, or it's abao, no, it's abao aku. I can't remember. Abao aku? I can't remember how to say it. I looked up how to say it. So this one's centered. It is facing to the upper right. Then Baba Yaga is facing to the upper left, directing our gaze to the upper left. And I've got some excellent sketches in here from funny suggestions from viewers in previous streams. Okay. Here we go. The Kabul Ishka. This one is facing to the middle right. So actually, this seems like it's going to be perfect. I don't remember what I was drawing bees for. That's mad. Why was I drawing? Oh, I was getting ready for my next animal onomatopoeia drawing. That's why I was drawing bees. So here's the snake. We did Da. And Da is actually pointing to the middle left. So actually, it would be great. We don't have one yet that goes to the bottom left. Yay! So I am going to edit this image so that it's flipped around. And then after I do that, it's going to be break time. So let's see, how do I rotate this? I wish I could rotate it just... I can't, sweet. Oh, it's not big enough. Oh. Well, I'll just have to use my imagination. Okay, I'm just going to flip it around. So it's facing... It was facing the opposite direction. Now it's faced this way. So just as you use my imagination to have it face downways. So we'll save it like that. Okay, I'm gonna leave this image up on my screen, on my phone. And now it's time for a break. I'm gonna get up, walk around, stretch, maybe have a snack. I highly encourage everyone else to do the same. I'm going to put my Be Right Back screen on and be back in about 5 minutes. everyone, I'm back. That took a lot longer than I expected. I made myself a really big snack. It took longer to eat, but I hope you had a great break. I am all refreshed and ready to get back to work on this illustration of Ea, the creator of mankind and god of the sea. So, I decided on this. Okay, I wrote it down. I decided on this thumbnail sketch. Let's do this one. Swimming along. Got my reference image of a whale shark, which I'm going to use for the end part. I suppose I need a reference image for a person, a human person swimming. So let's search for that too. Oh, hold on, I hear the little tick-tap of Jappy's claws. Let's get her in bed all ready for her to come and lay down. And come on, girl, you can come in. There she is. Just gonna take a look at Aoife first. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. It took so long they thought we were done in here. They didn't come in until a minute later. Oh, there they are. Hey, you can almost see Aoife's head. Let's see if I can adjust the camera a little bit so that you could actually see Aoife's face. Can you see me looking in the camera? Looking at what am I doing? Sort of. You can sort of see her face. She doesn't want to look back this way because I have the light on the camera. So she's a nice big yawn from her. Let's see, what does that look like? Well, that'll just have to do. Okay. So, man swimming viewed from above. Let's see. Oh, this one is great. Oh, it's so far away though. This is kind of what I'm looking for, but it's so far away I can't see the details. I don't really want like a professional, like here's this like professional or racing kind of thing. Not actually interested in that sort of swimming. It's just sort of gliding along in the water is what I'm hoping to find. Dang, this one's really close, but it's, again, very far away. I like the idea of the arms just sort of going back. So say these are the arms and my wrist is the head. They're just sort of going back because the tail is doing most of the work. Like, whew, whew. The arms are just there for direction and balance. Kind of like with fish, because the fish are not swimming with their front flippers going meow, 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 like we have to do as humans. The front flippers are more for steering and stability. So that's what I want the arms to be here. There's another one that's like what I want, but it's even farther away. Look at this tiny little body. The rest looks like a pool at the hotel, it says. I would like it to be closer. This is the pose I want, but I need the details. There's another one, so tiny. So tiny. Itty bitty buddy. Please, I want a closer up one. Oh, here's even smaller. Oh. I'm going to go back to the top of this list of images. It's one of them. So this one was good, but maybe if I look at the similar images listed below, I can get one that shows a little bit more detail. The related images, that's what it's called. A lot of them are people belly up, and that's not what I want. I want to... The interest of our subject is down below all the fish. But our point of view is that of the Maginaturalist, who is either snorkeling or just swimming or perhaps in a boat, viewing from above. You wouldn't think it's so hard to get such a reference image. I'll click on this one. Hold on, I gotta put some more lip balm on. Having a snack wore off the lip balm from before. I thought the clouds would protect me on my walk this morning, my 3-hour walk. But no, as usual, it's nice and cloudy when I start and then they disappear, and so I didn't wear a brimmed hat and I didn't wear any sunscreen. So I think my lips are a little sunburned. That's what I'm getting at. Dang, I cannot find... quite what I'm looking for. Maybe I'll put gliding in the water. Maybe that will explain better than swimming. Lots of people floating. No, this is not better. There's a bunch of weird photo edits of people like flying above water and stuff. That's not really what I'm looking for. Might just have to use some sort of generic pose and call it good enough. Like, not an actual swimming photo, but just an image of a man from the back with the arms down. Because swimming, being in the water, actually does make a little bit of difference to how the body appears, since the body is held up by the water and everything, but I can't find what I'm looking for at all. One that is close enough for me to actually see. I'm scrolling and scrolling, and the images are getting less and less like which makes sense. They'd put the most relevant stuff at the top. So how do I search for what? Let's see. It's hard to choose the precise words. It's all pictures of people sleeping, so it's a lot less useful because they're in these crazy positions and legs splayed everywhere. Here's one so close, but the stomach is up instead of the back. Alright, we're just not going to have laying on the stomach or anything. It's just going to be, what does a man look like from the back? Oh, here's some really strong people. Put arms down. So doing all kinds of flexing poses with their arms, showing off their muscles. Flexing. I can't search for a man picture without them people being flexing. I just want to see kind of normal, relaxed. Okay, I'm going to put that relaxed. So I want him to just be gliding along in the water, not putting a whole bunch of effort in. It's just checking out his domain and stuff. Maybe if I actually put reference. Oh, that's better. Putting reference in the search, the word reference, has brought up more useful stuff. Although a lot of it is other people's drawings, so that's not as useful. Though this reminds me, seeing these drawings, since I can't find exactly what I'm looking for on the internet, I'll just look at my tons of drawing reference books. I've got this excellent one called Dynamic Anatomy. One of the search results from that last search reminded me of this by Bern Hogarth. This guy has inspired countless artists with his... I wonder if this guy is still alive. Yeah, mention the name Bern Hogarth to any illustrator worth his or her salt, and that artist immediately thinks of dynamic, twisting, tension-filled, muscular figures and beautiful, flowing, eye-grabbing images. So, let's just see what he's got in here. Since I can't find what I want anyway in a photographic reference, let's just use his drawing reference. It's making a scraping sound where I have my little bookmark in here. The old receipt, it's all yellowed at the top. Stick it in there so it doesn't keep making... This is where I left off. I just followed this book through and it has taught me so much. And I've been thinking it would be nice to go through it again and do the exercises and everything. He has the more simplified face and then he adds on and on and on. Stuff like this. But what I want to do is see if he's got like... So he starts with the head, which is interesting because he also tells you don't draw the head first, draw the head last. I don't know if that's in this book though. It might be, and I have 3 books by him. Dynamic, so this one's Dynamic Anatomy. I also have Dynamic Figure Drawing, I'm looking over at my bookshelf, and Dynamic Wrinkles and Drapery. So it might be under Dynamic Figure Drawing that it shows, and he shows why don't draw the head first, draw the head last. Basically, it's because the position of the body then allows a certain range of head positions. But if you draw the head in a certain position because you drew the head first, there's only so many ways the body can go, and so it's limited. And that helped me a lot because so often people like me, inspired by anime and video games, what we love is the faces. Oh, look at this. We love the faces, and so we draw the face first, then you match the head onto the face, and it's sort of reverse engineering, and it's really difficult. But if you start with the position first of the entire body, and the last thing you draw, save the best for last. So you save the face for last, save the head, and then the face, and the whole body just looks way better if you do it that way. So stuff like this, I learned so much from these books. So this isn't exactly the pose I'm looking for, but it does show the general anatomy, and I can just, since I was going to have to do it anyway with those random images that were coming up, could not find just a plain old reference of the pose I wanted, so let's just use Hogarth's style of drawing. Just going through to see if there's any more. Here's some. See what the best option is, basically. So here's the arms. Details of the arms. That's kind of nice, too. I feel like I should go through this and practice some more. Look at these guys wrestling. His way of drawing hands, this is not exactly how I draw it, but this way of thinking blew my mind and opened my mind so that I could actually draw hands without struggling. For some reason, just looking at a hand and then drawing it is not as easy. So having this way of thinking about it made it way easier for me. Now I can just draw a hand and it looks like a hand. It doesn't look silly. It doesn't look like, oops, I'm going to hide that hand behind something else. Alright, I need to look at the hands. Let's go back to... So there's either this one. I kind of like this one that was showing specifically the backs a lot straighter on. Maybe this one or this one. And then if I need help with the arms, I can... Yeah, so that's the front of the body. So let's use this as my reference. So I'm going to set it over to the side. I'm thinking about whether I want to sketch this on here or if I just want to go ahead and try sketching the main image. Figure it out on there. I think I'll just do that. There's actually room enough, although it'll be hard because I'm left-handed and my hand will be off the page, so unless I draw it... Nah, I need the space on the side so that I don't have my hand coming off this inch here, or like trying to hold it and then you can't draw as well as you could if it had a space to sit. So I'm just going to get a whole nother sheet, as I have been doing. Get my 4x6 template. That's 4x4. Go. And this, I think, is going to be our first landscape drawing in this series. I'm pretty sure everything I've done so far until now has been portrait. So first I'm drawing with this blue pen, the boundaries, the format in which I want to keep my illustration. That's one of the big things about illustration versus simply drawing or painting or sketching, is you really need to know what the format is. What are you creating for? What size? What media? What is the end result going to be? Before I figured that out, I'd always be frustrated because elements that I wanted to have included would end off the page, or I wouldn't leave enough room and someone's head would be cut off, that kind of thing. But if you know what you're working in the first place, and then if especially you know, is this going to be for digital media? Does it need to be resized? Is it for a book? Do you have to keep the middle part in mind? All this stuff, you have to remember a bleed edge if you're going to be printing it, and there might be a little bit cut off based on what the printer ends up doing. So it's super important to have that outline there so that I can draw within it. And keep in mind, if I bring some lines out, do I want to keep them? Do I want to erase them at the end? That kind of thing. I also draw the outline in pen so that if I have to erase this sketch, the outline doesn't go away. So I'm going to be doing the rest in my blue colored pencil, mechanical pencil. Another thing that having the format drawn out on the page helps with is, so here with these thumbnail sketches I did, I just sort of drew generic shapes. These are not necessarily to scale. So now I can draw this to scale with the idea of probably putting his head on the 3/4 line, or the third and the third line, or maybe divide this into fifths and do third and fifth. I feel like that might be nice to have lots of room for the body. But this is also supposed to be a sketchbook entry for the project itself. So I'm just going to eyeball it. I think the idea of having it around here, so at the third line, so if we divide this into thirds, than this line going across horizontally. And then if we divide this into fifths, which would be, so this would be 2. So it'd be like, that's 3 parts. So there would be 4 lines. So it'd probably be here and here. That would create 5 columns. So right about here. So having the head in this area, I feel like, would be nice. When it facing this way, so I'm going to draw a general line. This is the spine. Actually, I'm going to turn it. This is the spine of our character. And I'm going to look at my reference that I have on my phone of the whale shark, actually. So it's not just a curve like this, it's curving, but then curves back the other way. So we're going to do that with the tail. And I'm imagining the tail coming out of the scene. So it's not going to be perfectly framed inside of here. Oh, this does not want to focus. Oh, there we go. I'm imagining the tail coming out of the frame a little bit. But the curve in the whale's spine, whale shark, it's a shark, but it's so big that they call it a whale shark, is fairly gentle. So I want to make it start soon enough that it can have this gentle curve. It curves up like that. So let's erase a little bit. My kneaded eraser. So clean up some of the areas I don't want so that I can focus on the shape that I do want. So that's nice. We've got the head. So this gives me an idea. Looking at the dynamic anatomy book, he doesn't have to be looking down. He could be looking to the side, and that would also give us more indication that this is a human top of this. Of course, there's going to be the arms coming out, but if we show one ear, because from behind, a human head is rather nondescript, especially if you actually have hair on it. So we have one ear showing like this. I feel like that would be even better. So should he be looking over this way, or should he be looking this way? Let's see. Yeah, if he looks this way, it will follow this curve so that he's curving his neck this way too. Okay, I gotta erase some more, or his head's gonna come out of the frame. Should make his head smaller too, because his body's supposed to be gigantic. He's supposed to be a gigantic fish. Alright, and I was just talking about it. Don't get too far into drawing the head. I'm going to draw the rest of the body first, even though it's not all human body. Let's add and then starts the shark, and the shark is nice and smooth. You don't see the muscles as much. looking good. Hold on, I've got to imagine this. This is why I really wanted a reference image of someone actually being in the water, but now I'm just going to have to imagine it, putting myself in the position of imagining being in the water. Okay, I feel my arms are flowing backwards with my palms down and my thumbs facing out, so let's do that with this guy too. Thumbs face out. The thumbs face out because the palms are down. Okay, how does my arm twist when I do that? So I have got, you can't see it so much, but I can feel this line right here. The muscle from twisting. So it twists out to the pinky. So, oh, wait, I'm doing it the wrong way. So I want the thumbs out. So actually, there's no twist. There's no twist in the arm if you put the thumbs down. Thumbs down, sticking out. So the elbow is here. And my hand is just relaxed in the water. This looks kind of like this. Thumb is only as long as where the finger starts coming out of the main part of the hand. I think I drew his hand too big, actually, for how big his arm is. Should be smaller. Oh, the hand looks too small. Oh man, can't get it right. Ugh. No, he's just a teeny tiny hand. It actually doesn't look bad. You'll stick with that. Like I keep saying, this is a sketchbook entry, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Too small of a hand again. It's tough. It's tough. Don't quite like it. Something off. Something off about it. Maybe I want his arms to be a little closer to his body. Oh, there's only 4 minutes left. I don't feel like I felt the buzz on my wrist to give me the 10-minute warning. But maybe I was just too into this to notice. So kind of like this one. It's closer to his body, so let's do the same thing over here. Bring it in. Oh, already feels better. Instantly feels better. Yay. I don't like how this hand is looking. The other hand looks good. This hand looks weird. It's too big. This one's looking really good though. I really like this. Clean it up a little bit in here so I can see better what's what. There's a lot of little sketchy lines in here. Yeah. Actually, let's erase this middle line a little bit. I don't want to get completely rid of it, but let's make it lighter. That's why I like these. One of the many reasons why I like this kneaded eraser, because you can do stuff like just take a little bit away. Don't take everything. Just lighten it up a little bit. Maybe this thumb just needs to stick out a little bit more. So close, but it just looks weird. Maybe it's still too big. Too big of a hand. Okay, I think I'm gonna erase this hand for now. So we're almost done. Maybe my brain needs a break. Almost done? We're a minute over. Yeah, I think my brain needs a break. Since I couldn't find a reference image for this, I'm having to use my imagination a lot more, and I don't have very much experience drawing people swimming in the ocean viewed from above, so it's hard. It's taking up a lot of brain power. So this is pretty good, though. This is a pretty good start. I'll lower this so that you can see it quite close. I'm pretty happy with this hand. I mean, I might change the position, but when I imagine myself flowing, gliding through the water, this is how my hand goes. It just naturally goes like this. So I think I will keep that. But also, we can look at it from this angle. I mean, maybe what I need is just to not show this arm or something. We're supposed to be seeing it from above, so could also change the position of this arm a little bit to come back out. We'll think about it. Let's take a break for today. We'll be done for today. Yay! Oh, my camera is all... Oh, but my sketchbook is also sideways. Camera sideways, sketchbook sideways. There. Okay. Let's call that good for today. I am going to be back again tomorrow with some Chibi Friday. I think we shall continue with turning my chibi foods into button designs. That's what I started last time, so I think we shall continue with that tomorrow. I'll be back at the same time as usual. I hope to see you then, but that's all for me today. Thank you for watching.